I do not want you to be my peace. I want you to be at peace with yourself. Then we can have peace. You be whole.
Right.
Be whole. Don't dump your insecurities on me. That's where we begin to have issues. Don't dump your lack of self-esteem on me. That's where we begin to have issues.
No. Because guess what? Your parents have done what they can do.
And they are going
It might
on with
not
their
have
lives.
been right. Yes, they didn't know better. At that time, they didn't know better. They basically just did what they thought was right. What they felt was right. They felt they were helping us.
Hi guys, my name is KG.
And my name is Ola.
And you're welcome to the
Truth Unraveled.
Guys, you're welcome once again. I'm very sure you've watched that video. You know what Truth Unraveled is all about. So today, we are going straight into the video without wasting your time. Right now, we're going to be dipping our hands into our basket of truth. And then we're going to tell you our opinion and our thoughts about this question.
Yeah.
Okay. So, who's going to pick first?
I think you should pick first.
Why should I pick first?
Okay.
Why should I pick first?
Okay, fine. I'll pick first. Okay.
But if you pick, it means I'm the one answering the question.
Yeah, so you have to answer the question. Okay. That makes it even much better, actually. I'll pick first.
Okay.
So you can start answering the question.
Pick first, and let's see.
Okay, so here we have our question. Let's see what the true basket has for us today.
Drum rolling.
Ooh, this is juicy.
Let's see.
Okay, so the question says, do you think our parents should be blamed for our lack of self-esteem or self-love as adults? Just thinking.
Okay. So, do I think our parents should be blamed for our lack of self-esteem as adults?
Yeah, and self-love.
I don't know, the question is kind of dicey, and I feel to a certain extent, and when I'm speaking, I think I'm speaking for all the millennials like me. I think to a certain extent our parents can be blamed, because I was having this discussion with someone yesterday, and we're talking about how we were mostly raised in fear. We were trained in fear, like we do not feel like we would do anything right on our own because we didn't have the confidence. We're not given the confidence. Even most of the times when we want to show what we can do, we're told that being quiet, being conservative, being, just being in a place where your presence is not being noticed, even as a child, is what is being appreciated as at that time. So to a certain level, I might say that I think our parents, they are responsible. But I would like to add this, that if you are above a certain age, let's say probably 18, 19, 20, and you're still in this current age, and you think that your parents are still the reason, or your parents are the right person for you to blame for you having lack of self-esteem, I think you have a problem. And I think you need to fix that problem. Maybe go to a therapy or something. Just get that problem fixed, because your parents have been involved in your life. You probably did not like how they helped you, how they trained you, how they told you to keep quiet. But now you're an adult, which I think is related to the question you're asking. You can make decisions for yourself. You can help yourself. Whatever you're lacking, if you know you do not have self-esteem, you can start the journey of helping yourself. Developing, that's the word exactly. So if you're still struggling and the first person you're blaming is, oh, it's my mama, oh, it's my, and this thing is so common.
It's very true, because growing up, if you asked me this question, like, let's say about 3-4 years ago, I was still sulking at that time. I would say yes, they should be blamed. Like, not even like 50%. I would say 100% they should be blamed, because at that point I was still blaming my parents for where my life was and for the bad decisions in my life. I was blaming them so badly. But now, I don't think I would blame them much, especially for millennials, like you said. Like, Gen Zs will probably not understand.
They do not know.
Right, I
mean, if you're a Gen Z and you're watching this video, you have no idea what we're talking about. You guys were raised with love.
Not all
and
of them, though.
not
There's
all
still
of
some
them.
Gen
Yeah,
Zs that are going
maybe.
through a lot right
Maybe,
now.
but
Like,
I mean, these Gen Zs can speak. They have the confidence.
right.
They
right,
say whatever
right,
is on
right,
their mind.
right.
They don't care.
Now that I think about it, I'm actually still a Gen Z. Maybe leaving the Gen Z soon, but I am still a Gen Z
I don't
actually.
think so.
I don't think I was raised as a Gen Z
I mean,
because
you know, sometimes when my brothers talk back at me and I'm like, I dare not try this while I was
Right.
growing up.
right,
You know,
right,
they see
right,
how they
right.
feel. They have this confidence. They have this self-esteem. They'll tell you, okay, you're just not going to do for me what you used to do for me, and I don't really care. That's why, you know, even in office settings and in workplaces, people do not want to hire them, because if they are not comfortable with the structures in place, they scatter
They're ready
everywhere.
to go.
Yeah.
Very well, very well, very well. The confidence, like in my mind, I keep thinking, like, as much as I come across like Gen Zs and everything, like in my mind, I'm thinking like, how is this? For example, I have like a teenager that's I don't work with her. I work with her sister, and the amount of confidence, like the mom is screaming, she's screaming back. I'm like, one day I told her, I'm like, you know, I would never, even
Right.
as big as I am,
You
I
cannot.
would never try.
You
this
still
with my
have that
mom.
little bit fear.
That's fear. Even with the fact that I'm not living with her, like I'm an adult
That's
now. What
fears.
do you mean? But even still, even on the phone, even if she's not in front of me, even on the phone, if she's being loud, I just keep quiet. I cannot say anything at that point because it's just going to escalate the problem.
And our parents knew. You know, we were trying to sort up
Right.
everything. You're not feeling well, swallow it. You're not. So when you feel like you have to tone down how you feel, your self-esteem drops. You just don't want to. You don't want to. You feel like you cannot do enough, because they will just tell you, close it up, close it up. Your creativity, close it up. You want to be everywhere. You're talkative. You're somebody that is an extrovert. You like to be everywhere, do everything. They tell you, shrink yourself, do all these things. Even you have a win, you want to celebrate it, they tell you, shrink it. There's so many, you know, for millennials.
I get it. For me,
you can't compare them with Gen Z.
I remember growing up, I used to blame my mom so much. Like when I was in Nigeria, like actually I didn't have a problem until when I had to travel out of the country.
Then
and I
you
saw
saw
how things were being
You saw
done.
the difference.
I started working at a very young age, and I saw the setting, like you've got to speak for yourself, especially at the workplace, because they're going to throw things at you that you're going to have to set boundaries on. But I just couldn't. Like my anxiety level was very high. Just the mere of seeing my boss alone, like I'm so scared. Like I've not done anything wrong, but I'm so scared. Like I cannot speak for myself. Like I knew that there is something wrong with my confidence. There's something wrong with my self-esteem. My anxiety level was high, and I used to blame my mom so much because my mom was really strict. She was really strict.
It was stamped being strict.
Right.
It was stamped being strict, but
being strict.
we thank God for the
really,
knowledge
she was stepping on my self-esteem. Really, looking back now, that was not being strict actually, because I used to blame her so much. Like like I couldn't look at my mom. Like I really, if you have an African parent, my goodness, I couldn't look at my mom straight in the eye. Like no, not even when I'm boiling. Like oh my goodness,
it's general. I don't think it's actually only Africans. I mean, I watched some funny videos where even Asians, they post how their mothers can control them even just by rolling their eyes, and I'm like,
right, that's
same
us.
as mothers
That's
in
us.
Africa.
That's us.
They can control you. So I mean, it's everywhere. It's just that to the end of everything you're still saying is that you should be able to turn your life around.
Right,
you cannot keep blaming your parents.
Exactly, because to be honest, this, I think now that I'm at this age, I totally understand my mom now. I completely understand. Like even the things that I was upset with her for like maybe years ago, right now, I cannot even be upset with her anymore, because you know what? These women didn't know any better.
Yeah, they
were not lectured. They were not trained for this. Like they simply like just moved into motherhood. Like they just passed on what they learned from their parents, as well. So you cannot blame them. The kind of the level of knowledge that we have right now, because there are a lot of people now that are much more educated, that are doing this parenting thing, and they're sharing with people the better way to do it. Our parents didn't have that
access
at that time. How many of them had
Yeah.
access to mobile phones? Like yes, they might have mobile phones, but how many of them had access to like internet or the global age that we have right now? Not all of them had access to that. And at that time, parenting was more of a coded thing. Like it was more of the way I train my child. Like, it was more of a coded thing. Not many people were coming out to talk about, okay, so hitting your child is not actually good, it's not actually right. At that time, there was nothing like that. There was,
and I also think one thing to add to that is that at that time, people were raising children to be like a thing of honor. So your child has to act in a certain way, talk in a certain manner to bring honor back to you as a parent. So they were more concerned about the honor it was bringing to them as parents. Or if your child is, seated properly, not gallivanting all over the place, children were not allowed to be children. They're just allowed to just be controlled, and they're like controlled people that could just sit and be quiet. And then people will say, "Oh, you trained your child well." I mean, but that's not necessarily training. And that was what they grew up with. I had a discussion with someone who told me that they train children just the way they knew at that time.
Yeah, that
they
was
didn't
what
have
they
experience.
knew. Exactly.
So it's not. They're just trying to make our lives better, but probably the wrong way. So, which it still brings us back to that point that if you decide not to help yourself after you've been blaming your parents,
you cannot keep blaming your parents to your child, and we will get to some point. I realized that after I moved out of the country, and after like 2 years in another country, and I saw the way things were being done, I figured myself that I had to work on myself. I knew that this was not who I am. I'm not someone that I should not be able to talk. I should not be able to express my opinion. I should not be able to say no.
And you took steps to help yourself.
Yes, I was not. Yes, exactly. We were not taught to say no. We were not taught how to say no to people. Like, we were not taught that. I had to learn that.
We're taught to always say yes to elderly people.
Exactly.
Not even if you're dying, you just have to keep saying yes.
Yeah.
But
not that it's wrong. Not that it's wrong to listen to elderly people or to be respectful towards elderly people. But there are just some times, there's just some, some scenarios or some situations where you just have to say no, and you just have to put boundaries in place. But we were not taught how to put boundaries. We're not taught how to set boundaries. We're not taught how to say no. We're not taught how to be ourselves. We're just taught to be obedient. I think that's the word.
Exactly.
We're taught to be obedient. We're taught to be good
follow
children.
Instructions.
Exactly.
Follow instructions.
Exactly. So I can't totally say that our parents can be blamed because that was what they need. It's a
two-way thing.
It's a two-way thing, right?
They can be blamed.
Yeah.
But I also think that if you're 18, you could blame your parents. If you're 20, you could blame your parents. But if you're 22,
you go above 20,
24, 26, and you're still giving us this story, my mother, my father, my uncle.
You need to heal. The truth is,
you
need to heal. You really need to heal. If you need to,
we are begging you.
Yeah, because the world needs to be a better place, and we cannot make the world a better place if we keep doing it. Like, if we keep blaming our parents and staying there, like, we need to. If you need to visit therapy, take therapy. If you need to, I know that most of us have a lot of healing to do.
Yeah.
Me, for one, it took me years to develop myself. I think I say this a lot on my channel. Like, it took me years. It took me a lot of building myself. Started from little things like maybe learning how to swim, little things like putting boundaries, learning how to say no. I might say no in front of someone now, and behind I'm like, I just said no. Like, I said no to this person. Like, it took me years. It took me like reading books, read books on self-love, read books on self-esteem. It took me like to start accepting myself just the way that I am. Self-acceptance is very, very important. You need to accept yourself just the way you are. And I think gratitude for your parents actually helps as well.
Yeah. You should be grateful for your parents.
Yeah.
You should be grateful. I know, but we're not here to dismiss your truth, to dismiss your experiences. Like I always say, I've never been in your shoes, and I do not pray to be, just like you do not pray to be in my shoes. I don't know what you've gone through with your parents and all, but still be grateful that at least, you're still here. You can make things better. You can make your life better.
Exactly.
Like, and once your self-esteem is damaged, you can't achieve anything for yourself. You're always dependent on others to do things for you.
Because I really think that a lot of women or people generally are going through things that, let me say women actually, a lot of women are taking things that they should not be taking it. Things that they should be saying no to, but they're saying yes to these things because of lack of self-esteem, because of lack of self-love, because of lack of self-worth. So I think, a lot of us have a lot of, you cannot keep staying in that place of, a blame.
You do not even need to go far. Start with violence. A lot of ladies are taking violence because they lack self-esteem. Like they do not have self-esteem. A lot of ladies are being abused daily, and they still stay in the place of their abuse just because they do not know how to say no. They do not know what they deserve.
They don't know how to be loved.
Some parents have actually trained some children to, they discipline them and tell them their own discipline is a form of love by eating them. And so when a man eats them outside,
they think it's right as well.
So their parents said it. So they don't utter it out. They just have the mentality. That's why someone will come boldly to the internet and open their mouth and say they cannot date someone that doesn't hit them. It's because of what they were raised with. So it damaged, but you do not have to stay there.
You can get up. You can get up. Yes, it will take years. Rome was not built in a day. And self-love, self-esteem journey is a continuous journey. It's not something that you just suddenly wake up and you sleep and wake up and you're there. No, it will take years. Even I, let me not speak for you, let me speak for myself. Like even I am not there yet. I'm not there yet. We're still on the journey. We're still walking. We're still walking. But really, there are just some things. Self-love for one. Self-love, self-worth, self-acceptance.
Do everything to build it.
Will help you be in a better place. If you want to start with reading a book, for example, start with reading books. Read books. Books are life-changing. Books are very, very good. They're a very good start. They're a very good start. So start with reading books.
In 2025, if you're not reading, I don't know what we need to say to you, honestly, because we really cannot beg you to read. There are a lot of people on the internet that are begging you to read now. So if in 2025 you're not reading, I really don't know what to say. Because books are one great way to change. I remember a quote that I saw, and probably maybe we can round up with this quote. And then the quote says that, I do not want you to be my peace. I want you to be at peace with yourself. Then you can have peace. That means that I don't want you to be good for me. Be good with yourself.
For yourself.
If you're good with yourself, I'm good with myself, then we can enjoy whatever we want to have together. Be it a relationship, be it friendship. You be whole. Be whole. Don't dump your insecurities on me, that's why we'll begin to have issues. Don't dump your lack of self-esteem on me, that's why we'll begin to have issues. Be at peace with yourself, be whole, be everything. And then you'll be at peace. So it's
you need to heal so you don't bleed on others
who
did not
cut
hurt
you.
Right. Healing is very, very important. We all have healing. A lot of us are dealing with traumas. A lot of us are dealing with, things that we picked up from our parents. But we cannot stay in that place of blaming them. If we keep staying there, we will not improve. We will not improve. Because really, they didn't know better. At that time, they didn't know better. They basically just did what they thought was right. What they felt was right. They felt they were helping us, but not knowing they were dumping baggages, they were dumping
a lot of
anxiety, they were dumping a lot of trauma, a lot of how would I put it now? A lot of things on us that we should not be having to carry. But once you get to that age, once you get to that point where you're able to realize by yourself that this is not right, this is not who I want to be, because at the end of the day, we all need to strive for the better version of ourselves. So once you realize that this is not the better version of yourself, this is not who you want to be, start your self-development journey. You don't have anybody to blame now. No. Because guess what? Your parents have done what they can do,
and they are going
with their lives.
Right?
Yes. Because if you don't do that, you transfer it to your child, and it's going to be
the cycle continues.
Right? The cycle continues, and we want to break those cycles. We need to break those cycles.
It has to break.
It has to break.
Generational cycle.
It has to break. So please, our darlings out there, heal.
And also, you can give us your opinion. What do you think?
What do you think?
Do you actually, because honestly, we do not know your experiences or whatever you've gone through. What do you think? Do you think that parents should still be blamed? I'm very sure.
2025. Do you think
I mean,
it should
yeah,
still be
in
blamed?
2025, I mean, at your whatever current age you are, as an adult, should your parents still be blamed for your lack of self-esteem?
And lack
We'd
of
like to hear your
self-love.
opinions in the
Yes.
comment section.
Yes, yes.
Thank you guys for sticking with us.
Yes, and if you have anything that you think you would like us to talk about on the Truth Basket, just let us know. Leave it in the comment section. We might just do a video on it. Whatever you think, you would like this to go in the basket of truth. You want us to share our opinions on it. Leave it in the comment section, and we will be sure to reply. And we would love your opinions also. We can't know it all. These are just our own, petty opinions.
Yeah, just our opinions and our thoughts.
Opinions and our thoughts.
Not the general view.
A disclaimer, by the way. A disclaimer. These are just our opinions
and thoughts.
Yes, and opinions are meant to differ.
Yes.
Opinions are meant to differ. Okay?
So I remain your girl KG, and this is
Ola.
And that's all we have for you today on The Truth Unraveled.
Bye. Bye.